Welcome, Congressman James Comer of Kentucky. It's good to have you, Congressman. Other than what that everybody has seen on this story, what can you tell us that we may not know?
Well, Right. Well, we all know that Mar-a-Lago was raided by the FBI, apparently because Donald Trump had taken some documents that were deemed classified to his residence. Now, that was unprecedented to raid the residence of a former president. The research that we found said every president and vice president had mistakenly taken a few documents, but they had never been raided. President Biden was quick to condemn former President Trump. He called him irresponsible. And now what we found out yesterday is President Biden did the exact same thing. But we haven't seen any raid of President Biden's former residence. Look, this just goes along with the narrative that a lot of people in America believe there's a two-tier system of justice at the Department of Justice. They believe that Donald Trump was treated differently than any other president. They believe Republicans are treated differently than Democrats, and that's one reason why we're launching a select committee to investigate the weaponization of the DOJ and FBI.
It was certainly, at least we have the impression that the situation with former President Trump was exponentially worse than any past president, and exponentially worse than this, and that it's not going to be Apple. That's at least the way that it's been portrayed. Do you know whether these are similar situations? Does one involve 50,000 documents and the other involve 500 documents? One involved highly classified, the other involved much less highly, because that's the way
it is. Biden gave them back. Trump didn't.
Exactly.
Well, he gave some back. Yeah, right.
Sadly,
so is it the same?
We don't know, because when Mar-a-Lago was raided, the National Archives is actually in the jurisdiction of my committee. They're normally a sleepy government bureaucracy that comes before our committee once a year at a very low fanfare. But somehow they triggered a raid of the residence of the former president. We requested information on, the steps taken to raid. Why did they make this decision? How did they have the authority to make this decision? And exactly what types of documents did Donald Trump have? They wouldn't respond to us. They only referred us to the Department of Justice and Merrick Garland. Of course, we know he's not going to respond with anyone. Well, now the same things happened to President Biden. So today we're sending out another formal request asking again what exactly happened at Mar-a-Lago, what types of documents did former President Trump have versus what types of documents does Joe Biden have. Now, remember, these documents were discovered November the 2nd, before the midterm elections, but no one in the Biden administration told anybody that. And the only reason we know about it today is because CBS News somehow broke the story. So, again, another example of this administration not being transparent. And remember, the closing argument that that Joe Biden made during the midterm election was that Republicans were a threat to democracy, and one reason he kept citing is Donald Trump had classified documents. Now, here we know Joe Biden did the same thing.